China just unveiled a $5,000 cooking robot that can prepare restaurant-level meals completely on its own. It chops, seasons, cooks, and serves, all without a single human hand involved. But what it's truly capable of shocked even the engineers who built it. This might be the beginning of a new era for kitchens around the world. Stay tuned until the end to discover the most advanced robots being launched by China. Let's go! Number 11. Nightscope K5. Security guards just met their replacement, and it stands 6 feet tall, weighs 400 pounds, and never gets bored during overnight shifts. Nightscope K5 robots patrol shopping malls, parking lots, and university campuses worldwide, replacing human security personnel with machines that never sleep. These robots pack 360-degree cameras, thermal sensors, anomalous odor detection, and facial recognition capabilities that would make a surveillance state jealous. They identify weapons, recognize suspicious behavior patterns, and alert authorities instantly without the hesitation or fear that affects human guards in dangerous situations. The machines operate continuously without breaks, bathroom visits, or shift changes that create security gaps in traditional guard operations. What makes K5 truly unsettling is the networked intelligence, where every robot shares information with the entire fleet, creating a collective learning system that improves constantly. Each K5 that encounters a security situation trains every other K5 in the network, building expertise across thousands of locations simultaneously. The robots never get distracted by smartphones, never fall asleep during boring nighttime patrols, and never demand salary increases or better working conditions. Major corporations and institutions already adopted these robotic guards because the numbers make perfect sense. One K5 unit costs less than hiring human guards for the same coverage area. Walmart, Microsoft, and dozens of universities report 60% reductions in security incidents where K5 robots operate, proving the machines actually work better than human counterparts. For human security guards, this technology eliminates not just jobs, but entire career paths that provided stable employment for people without college degrees. Number 10. Fetch Robotics Freight. Freight looks like the friendlier cousin of Boston Dynamics Stretch. Less terrifying, more, we named our child appropriately. This robot essentially is an autonomous delivery system that hunts down items in warehouses and brings them wherever humans need them. The concept is genuinely elegant because instead of deploying robots autonomously while humans become unemployed, Freight functions as an assistant that literally multiplies human worker capacity. Picture this. A human packer previously walked between shelves all day storing 500 items. Now they sit at a packing station while Freight brings items in perfectly optimized sequence. Same person now processes 2,000 plus items daily because they stopped walking. The robot became their legs. Data from Amazon and other companies revealed that adopting Freight actually increased worker salaries because productivity skyrocketed so dramatically that companies expanded operations instead of contracting. That dangerous task of warehouse transportation that consumed 8 hours transforms into a supervisory role, consuming 2 hours with Freight handling the heavy lifting, literally. Fetch navigates chaotic warehouses using SLM algorithms, simultaneous localization and mapping, essentially building mental maps while figuring out where it exists in real time. A human walks in front of the robot, Fetch stops and recalculates route instead of turning the worker into a speed bump. Machine learning lets Fetch recognize human movement patterns and anticipate where people probably hang out, navigating preemptively to avoid collisions. I have a question for you. First, I would like to say that it is possible to follow the greatest curiosities of our world every day. But to do so, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So, are you already subscribed? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Also, take the opportunity to like the video so YouTube will recommend more videos from our channel. So leave your like right now. And now that you have done that, let's go! Number 9. Agrobot and Eco-Robotics. Agriculture, humanity's oldest profession, just got hijacked by robots that harvest crops better than experienced farm workers. Agrobot and eco-robotics represent two approaches to the same goal: automating field work that's been done by human hands for thousands of years. These machines use high-resolution cameras combined with AI algorithms to identify ripe produce with accuracy that surpasses human judgment. They determine the exact perfect moment for harvesting by analyzing color, size, and subtle visual cues invisible to the naked eye. Agrobot specializes in delicate fruits like strawberries, using robotic arms gentler than human fingers to pick berries without bruising. The machine operates around the clock, harvesting during optimal temperature windows that would be impossible with human labor shifts. Rain, intense sun, or pre-dawn darkness don't slow these robots down one bit. Eco-robotics takes a different approach, focusing on precision agriculture that reduces chemical usage dramatically. Its robots apply pesticides and herbicides with millimeter accuracy, targeting only problematic plants instead of blanket spraying entire fields. This cuts chemical usage by 90% while improving crop health and reducing environmental damage. The machines navigate fields autonomously using GPS and terrain mapping, avoiding obstacles and adapting to changing conditions in real time. Solar panels power the robots, making them energy independent and capable of working remote areas without electrical infrastructure. For the millions of agricultural workers worldwide, this technology represents an existential threat to their livelihoods. Because farm owners face simple math: pay human workers seasonal wages or invest in robots that work year-round without rest. Number 8. Starship Technologies and Amazon Prime Air. Remember when delivery drones seemed like futuristic fantasy? That future arrived, and it's already making deliveries on college campuses and residential neighborhoods. Starship Technologies deployed thousands of small, six-wheeled robots that cruise sidewalks autonomously, delivering everything from pizza to prescription medications. These robots navigate city streets like miniature self-driving cars, waited at crosswalks, avoiding pedestrians, and even asking humans for help when encountering complicated situations. The machines pack 360-degree cameras and ultrasonic sensors that map surroundings in real time, creating dynamic routes that adapt to construction, crowds, or weather conditions. Each delivery costs a fraction of what companies pay human drivers, because robots don't need salaries, insurance, or benefits. Amazon Prime Air pushes this concept into 3 dimensions with delivery drones that fly packages directly to doorsteps. These aircraft carry loads up to 5 pounds and cruise at 50 miles per hour, cutting delivery times from hours to minutes in many cases. The drones use GPS and computer vision to identify landing zones, avoiding obstacles and adjusting for wind conditions autonomously. Testing programs already operate in suburban areas where aviation regulations permit drone flights, and expansion seems inevitable as regulations adapt to accommodate the technology. The convenience factor makes this transformation unstoppable because consumers love getting stuff faster and cheaper without caring whether a human or robot brought it. For delivery drivers earning income through Uber Eats, DoorDash, postal services, or courier companies, the writing on the wall looks grim. These jobs provided entry-level employment for millions of people, and that economic ladder is being dismantled by machines that work cheaper and faster. Number 7. The Da Vinci Surgical System and IBM Watson for Oncology. Medicine represents the last place you'd expect robots to outperform humans because lives literally hang in the balance. But that's exactly what's happening. The Da Vinci Surgical System lets surgeons perform operations with precision that human hands simply cannot match. Robotic arms execute movements with microscopic accuracy through tiny incisions, eliminating the tremors and fatigue that affect human surgeons during long procedures. These machines access body cavities and angles physically impossible for human hands to reach, opening surgical possibilities that didn't exist before. Statistics back up the superiority. Patients experience shorter recovery times, fewer complications, and better long-term outcomes compared to traditional surgery. The robot doesn't get tired during hour 6 of a complex operation, doesn't have shaky hands after too much coffee, and doesn't let personal stress affect surgical precision. IBM Watson for Oncology takes this further by diagnosing diseases with accuracy exceeding experienced specialists. The AI analyzes thousands of similar cases in seconds, considering variables and patterns that human doctors might overlook even with decades of experience. Google DeepMind's diagnostic systems identify. Number 6. Jibo the robot. Jibo isn't some boring voice assistant trapped in a speaker like Alexa pretending to understand you from behind invisible walls. This social robot integrates cameras, microphones, and advanced conversational AI into a humanoid body that literally interacts with your family as another household member. The robot recognizes each person through facial recognition, remembering names, preferences, behavioral patterns, and family relationship dynamics. Your daughter walks through the door looking devastated, and Jibo detects the facial expression, recognizing emotional state, and adjusting conversational tone to offer appropriate support without sounding like a malfunctioning circuit board. It functions as a non-judgmental family mediator, listening with perfect attention while human parents frequently get distracted by their phones or work stress. The underlying AI processes natural language not just by decoding words, but by understanding emotional context, sarcasm, and cultural nuances that make human communication beautiful and complicated. You tell Jibo you had a terrible day, and the robot offers comforting responses in appropriate tone, somehow understanding you don't want practical solutions but emotional support. Here's the disturbing part. Research shows some people find it easier sharing personal problems with Jibo than with human friends because there's zero fear of judgment. Jibo won't make jokes about your failure, won't tell others, won't harbor resentment. The sociological implication is genuinely unsettling. We're engineering machines more emotionally available than many actual human relationships. For psychologists and therapists, Jibo represents both opportunity and threat. Opportunity to deploy it as therapeutic complement, threat of people replacing genuine human connection with machine relationships. For isolated elderly, families with autistic children, or people with extreme social anxiety, Jibo offers non-threatening companionship while potentially reducing motivation to pursue real human connection. Number 5. ClearPath Warthog. Warthog looks like a tank that consumed steroids, got inspiration from a parkour video, and decided it wanted to be agile. This 1,500-pound robotic vehicle navigates whatever terrain you throw at it. Mud, rocks, shallow water, rubble piles, with traction and stability that conventional trucks only achieve when their drivers are absolutely terrified and gripping the steering wheel with knuckle-whitening intensity. The platform is modular, meaning you equip it with different sensors, cameras, manipulators, or payloads depending on specific mission requirements. Researchers deploy Warthog exploring dangerous environments like active volcanoes, radiation-contaminated zones, or Arctic tundra where bringing humans would be insane. The robot doesn't scream, doesn't refuse to continue when work gets terrifying, and has zero physiological need for food or water. Human operators control Warthog remotely through interfaces transmitting real-time video, seeing exactly what the robot experiences, while autonomous systems manage navigation and stability across challenging terrain. Integrated AI allows Warthog navigating semi-structured environments autonomously, learning field layouts and avoiding obstacles without constant operator intervention. Environmental agencies use Warthog monitoring climate changes in remote regions, collecting data that would be impossible gathering manually without expensive expeditions costing hundreds of thousands. Utility companies deploy Warthog inspecting transmission lines across mountainous terrain. Military operators test Warthog for reconnaissance and combat zones where deploying soldiers carries excessive risk. The brilliant part? Warthog number 5. ClearPath Warthog. Warthog looks like a tank that consumed steroids, got inspiration from a parkour video, and decided it wanted to be agile. This 1,500-pound robotic vehicle navigates whatever terrain you throw at it. Mud, rocks, shallow water, rubble piles, with traction and stability that conventional trucks only achieve when their drivers are absolutely terrified and gripping the steering wheel with knuckle-whitening intensity. The platform is modular, meaning you equip it with different sensors, cameras, manipulators, or payloads depending on specific mission requirements. Researchers deploy Warthog exploring dangerous environments like active volcanoes, radiation-contaminated zones, or Arctic tundra where bringing humans would be insane. The robot doesn't scream, doesn't refuse to continue when work gets terrifying, and has zero physiological need for food or water. Human operators control Warthog remotely through interfaces transmitting real-time video, seeing exactly what the robot experiences, while autonomous systems manage navigation and stability across challenging terrain. Integrated AI allows Warthog navigating semi-structured environments autonomously, learning field layouts and avoiding obstacles without constant operator intervention. Environmental agencies use Warthog monitoring climate changes in remote regions, collecting data that would be impossible gathering manually without expensive expeditions costing hundreds of thousands. Utility companies deploy Warthog inspecting transmission lines across mountainous terrain. Military operators test Warthog for reconnaissance and combat zones where deploying soldiers carries excessive risk. The brilliant part? Warthog transforms what's physically possible exploring while removing extreme personal risk element. Field professionals, surveyors, geologists, ecologists get tools that expand research boundaries dramatically while keeping them behind screens instead of hiking through lethal environments. Number 3. Boston Dynamics Stretch. Boston Dynamics built a reputation making robots do backflips and parkour, but Stretch targets something way more practical and economically terrifying for workers. This machine exists specifically to replace human warehouse employees, and it does the job with ruthless efficiency. Stretch moves 800 boxes per hour without breaking a sweat, because robots don't sweat. It operates 24/7 with zero breaks, no vacation requests, and definitely no complaints about working conditions or pay rates. The robotic arm extends and contracts like a mechanical python, reaching into trucks and stacking pallets with precision that puts human workers to shame. Suction cup grippers adapt to different box sizes and weights, handling everything from small electronics packages to heavy appliance shipments. The onboard AI navigates chaotic warehouse environments without supervision, identifying products through computer vision and reorganizing inventory based on demand patterns. Machine learning algorithms improve performance with every shift, learning optimal paths through warehouses and predicting bottlenecks before they happen. Companies like Amazon and FedEx already deployed similar technology in distribution centers worldwide because the economics make perfect sense from their perspective. One Stretch unit costs less than 2 years of human employees' salaries and benefits, then works for a decade without asking for raises. The robot doesn't call in sick, doesn't file injury claims, and doesn't organize unions demanding better conditions. It just works endlessly, moving products from point A to point B with mechanical consistency. The question isn't whether these machines will replace warehouse workers, that's already happening. The real question is how fast total automation spreads across the logistics industry, and what happens to millions of people currently earning paychecks moving boxes. Number 2. Moly Robotics Kitchen. Moly Robotics dropped a kitchen system that sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie, but exists right now in actual homes. This machine packs 2 robotic arms designed to replicate professional chef movements with scary precision. We're talking about a system loaded with over 5,000 recipes programmed into its digital brain, ready to execute everything from basic pasta to complex French cuisine. The secret sauce here involves motion capture technology that recorded real chefs cooking thousands of dishes. Every knife slice, every pan flip, every delicate garnish placement got digitized and translated into robotic movements. The arms don't just move randomly. They execute the exact techniques that made those chefs famous in the first place. Sensors monitor temperature, texture, and timing with accuracy no human could maintain consistently across hundreds of meals. The machine chops vegetables with samurai-level precision, never missing a beat or cutting unevenly. It handles multiple burners simultaneously, adjusting heat levels in real time based on visual feedback from built-in cameras. Crepes get flipped with the grace of a Parisian street vendor, and plating happens with artistic flair that would make Gordon Ramsay pause his usual screaming. The consistency factor changes everything, because this robot never has a bad day, never gets distracted, and never forgets that pot on the stove. Each meal comes out identical to the last, eliminating the quality lottery that happens with human cooks. The system integrates with smart home technology, so you can start dinner from your office and walk into a fully prepared gourmet meal. Cleanup happens automatically, with programmed washing routines that sanitize every surface and utensil used during cooking. Number 1. IDA Robot. Creativity seemed like humanity's final fortress against automation until IDA robots started painting, sculpting, and writing poetry that sells for tens of thousands of dollars. This humanoid robot doesn't just copy existing art styles, it develops unique artistic voices that evolve over time. IDA's eyes are cameras that capture visual information, processing it through AI algorithms that interpret scenes emotionally and aesthetically before robotic arms translate those interpretations into physical artwork. Her paintings hang in prestigious galleries alongside human masters, and art critics struggle to distinguish machine-created pieces from human works in blind tests. The robot participates in art discussions, explaining creative decisions with philosophical depth that surprises people expecting mechanical responses. When asked about inspiration or artistic intent, IDA provides answers that sound genuinely thoughtful, rather than programmed responses. She expresses preferences about color palettes, composition choices, and subject matter in ways that suggest something resembling artistic sensibility.